This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Worldwide would be taped later that day as well. You and Tully defended the titles against John Savage, number 2 time here on the show, and Rocky King, winning in about 2 minutes with the double gourd buster. And then later in the same show, you and Tully and Luger and JJ were interviewed by David Crockett about the upcoming matches at Starrcade 87. This segment featured one of your many key catchphrases, and I want you to check it out now. Here we go.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, with us now, United States Heavyweight Champions, the World Tag Team Champions, J.J. Dillon, Arn Anderson. Are you ready for Starrcade?
David Crockett, I don't want to come out here and toot our own horns, but toot, toot. When we said we were going to beat the Rock and Roll Express, we did it. When we said we're going to eliminate them from contention for Starrcade, we did it. And when we tell you, David Crockett, look deep into my eyes, when we tell you we're going to beat the Road Warriors in their own backyard, Chi-Town Heat, believe it. Because the Four Horsemen don't come out here with wishy-washy antics. We don't tell you things. We don't let it fall through. What we want to tell you is we didn't become the elite group that we are just saying we're the Horsemen, getting satin jackets, having it pasted on the back, wearing red shirts. We earned it. Being a Horseman, 24 hours a day job. And you ask me if I'm ready for Starrcade, it makes the back of my neck hot. I'm honored. The Horsemen are honored to be in Starrcade, but Starrcade wouldn't be Starrcade without the Horsemen. So if you ask me if we're ready, Road Warriors, we don't have to prove nothing. You got to prove everything. We're the champions. Starrcade will be the biggest event wrestling has ever seen. You see all this gold glittering out here? That's because we're the best at what we do. Here's a World Tag Team Champions. Here's a U.S. Heavyweight Champion. And Ric Flair will be, once again, the World's Heavyweight Champion. Because the bottom line is we love to showcase our talents. There's not a better place to do it in front of millions of people in Starrcade 87 in Dusty Roads. 90 days is a long, long time. And as they're all saying, out of sight, out of mind. Think about it. Isn't that right, Duster? You know, can you imagine Chicago Thanksgiving night, Dusty Rhodes out for 90 days, Ronnie Garvin no longer World's Heavyweight Champion? And you know, JJ, if we can find the right contenders for the World's Tag Team titles, we'll give them a shot that night. Look at this, Four Horsemen.
So good. There it is. Toot, toot. The key phrase was dropped by Arn Anderson to start that promo.
I was going to say that should be a T-shirt, but it is a T-shirt.
It is a T-shirt. We already got it, man.
There we go.
This rounded out what had to be a very long day of television. You and Tully successfully defended your tag titles against Keith Steinborn and Ricky Nelson as part of an episode of World Championship Wrestling. And typical of this era, you weren't finished there. No, Arn. As part of Championship Wrestling from Florida card, you and Tully traveled to St. Petersburg, Florida, taking on the Rock and Roll Express. The next day, the 25th of October, as we come into the end of the month, you're back in Greensburg Coliseum in front of a crowd of 3,721. You and Barry Windham would once again wrestle for that prestigious Western States Heritage Championship. And unfortunately, Arn, I just love you shaking your head. You fell short in your quest to take the title back to Charlotte. The next day at the Greenville Memorial Auditorium, same match, same result as the crowd was treated to yet another classic bout between you and Barry. And then on the 29th, you and Tully main event the card, held at the Harrisonburg, Virginia High School Gym. Yes, that's correct, where you lose to the Rock and Roll Express by DQ, thereby still holding on to your NWA tag team titles. And then we round out the month of October. Jim Crockett Promotions recorded an on-air television on October 31st. And on NWA Pro, you and Tully defeated Ricky Santana and Cougar J. Then on Worldwide, it was announced that the international world champions, the Road Warriors, would take on you and Tully for your NWA tag team titles at Starrcade. This announcement was made on NWA Pro, Arn, the previous week as well, but the airing of the shows is now catching up with all the storylines. So that's how that worked for that. And finally, for a taping of World Championship Wrestling, you and Tully defeated Keith Steinborn once again and Rex King. And Arn, that closes us out for what is a busy, bloody, violent October 1987. We used the word frenetic last week to describe the pace of the matches with rock and roll. But after reviewing everything that's transpired in this month and hearing your recall and answers to the questions that popped up during the research, it's quite apparent this is a balls to the wall time of your life, my friend.
And let's don't forget the travel schedule involved, because it matters. Anybody that travels for business, doesn't matter what occupation you're in, forget about the fact that we have to get to the gym. We still got to wrestle 20, 30, 40 minutes at night. But anybody that travels, business travelers, that tell you, that you got to fly from point A to point B, jump off, grab your bags, grab a rent-a-car, still have 140 miles to drive because it's some out-of-the-way place. It takes a toll on your body, and you do that day after day after day. And then these days of 85, 86, 87, 88, that's the way it was. It was somewhere not geographically making sense a lot of times, but hey, you put your nose to the grindstone and took off, man, because that's where you were booked.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.